They say every fairy tale begins with once upon a time, but mine started with shattered mirrors and a storm that tore apart the sky. I am Morgana of Elysia, once called daughter, once called princess, once branded as the evil queen. But before you judge me based on the stories you think you know, let me reveal the truth. I was born straddling two worlds, carrying ancient magic through my veins, while whispers of prophecy trailed every breath I took. They wished for me to be normal, to hide my gifts, to smile and bow while priests like Father Malachar plotted my downfall. But magic refuses to be hidden, and power demands to be wielded. When they forced me to choose between being loved and being true to myself, I chose myself. I became the villain in their story because I refused to be the victim of mine. I embraced the shadows they feared, wielded the magic they condemned, and yes, I became the evil queen. But every villain has an origin, and mine is written in blood, betrayal, and the terrible cost of being different. Love, true love, was the cruelest magic of all. I was 24 when they announced my engagement. Not asked, announced. Like a business transaction, a merger of kingdoms sealed with my life as collateral. 24 years old, and they still treated me like a child's doll to be dressed up and positioned at their whim. The great hall buzzed with celebration, while I sat frozen at the high table, watching nobles toast my future with a man I'd never chosen, never loved, never even properly met. But it was what happened next that sealed both our fates. They had made me a prisoner of their expectations, a puppet dancing to their political games. But power would make me the one pulling the strings. They called me evil, but I was simply a woman who had been pushed too far, who had watched love slip through her fingers one too many times, who had learned that sometimes the only way to break free from a cage is to become something too dangerous to contain. I was meant to be useful, compliant, grateful for whatever scraps of affection they threw my way. So I wrote my own ending, and if that made me a monster, then at least I was a monster of my own making. And so I claimed my crown, not through birthright or marriage, but through the simple, terrifying act of refusing to be anyone's victim ever again.
My dearest Morgana, if you are reading this, then the shadows have claimed me, and you stand alone in a world that will test every fiber of your being. My heart breaks, knowing I cannot guide you through what lies ahead, but perhaps these words can serve as a lantern in your darkest hours. You are not cursed, my darling daughter. You are blessed with a power that terrifies those who cannot understand it. The magic that flows through your veins is the same that once protected our kingdom, the same that your grandmother wielded with wisdom and grace. But power without love becomes tyranny, and love without boundaries becomes weakness. I have watched you struggle with the weight of expectation, seen you try to dim your light to make others comfortable. Do not make yourself smaller for their fear. Yet remember, true strength lies not in the magnitude of your magic, but in choosing when to use it and when to show mercy. Beware of Malachar. He whispers poison dressed as counsel, and he has been circling our family like a vulture since before you were born. He seeks to corrupt what he cannot control. Trust your heart, but guard it well. Remember, you are Morgana of House Ravenna, daughter of queens, keeper of ancient magic. You were born to rule, not to be ruled. But a true queen serves her people, not her own desires. I love you beyond the boundaries of life and death. When the darkness calls to you, and it will, remember that you always have a choice. Your devoted mother, Ravenna.
My beloved Ravenna, it has been 6 months since you left me, and I find myself writing to your ghost, hoping somehow you might hear my confession from beyond the veil. I am failing her, I am failing Morgana, and I am failing you. The nobles circle like wolves, questioning her legitimacy, her age, her activities. Lord Cassius speaks openly of a regency council. Duke Aldrich suggests a strategic marriage to stabilize her claim. But now there are whispers, Ravenna, terrible whispers, about forbidden practices in the forest. They say she consorts with Seraphina's ward, that boy with no name, no bloodline, raised by a woman they call witch. They speak of rituals, of unnatural ceremonies, of things that would see her burned at the stake if proven true. She is only 17, Ravenna, 17, and they expect her to carry the weight of a kingdom while navigating accusations of witchcraft and impropriety. The reports from the servants grow more disturbing. They speak of her returning from the forest with dilated eyes, speaking of visions, of conversations with spirits. Malachar has been helpful in managing these rumors. He offers solutions, provides counsel on how to protect her reputation. But there is something in his eyes when he speaks of her condition that makes my blood run cold. I fear what she has become in her grief. I fear what she might do if cornered, and I fear that in trying to protect her, I am destroying everything we built together. The crown should pass to her. It is her birthright. But if these accusations prove true, if the church becomes involved, there will be nothing left to inherit but ashes. Forgive me, my darling. I am drowning in a sea of impossible choices. Forever yours, in grief and regret. Frederick.
Ah, sweet, naive child. You think betrayal is discovered in a single moment. But I have been orchestrating Morgana's awakening for years, and tonight she finally found my masterpiece. Every letter she discovered was placed with surgical precision, each revelation timed to shatter her trust completely and forge her into the weapon this pathetic kingdom truly deserves. I wanted her to know that every betrayal was orchestrated, every manipulation calculated, every moment of her life carefully crafted to lead to this exact revelation. Now she stands transformed, her innocence burned away by the flames of my design. She believes she is reclaiming her power, but she is simply fulfilling her purpose. The darkness she thinks she is conquering was always meant to consume her. My perfect queen rises not despite the betrayal.